Welcome to Onslow County Today. I'm your host, Lisa Whitman-Grice, and you can see that we are at the Albert J. Ellis Airport, OAJ, here, and we have some wonderful guests. We'll be talking with Major Mark Scott from the Onslow County Sheriff's Office. We'll also visit with Alessandra Sams from Onslow County Health Department. We'll chat with Hope McFarland from Animal Services, Tori Parks from our library, and finally a visit with Mitch Sprunger, our director here at OAJ, to talk about all the great plans for your Albert J. Ellis Airport. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Major Mark Scott from Onslow County Sheriff's Office. Major Scott, we're so glad you're back with us again for this conversation.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for having me back.
It has been, for many of us, an inordinately hot summer. We have had a significant heat wave. Heat indices have been, 100 plus. And one of the things that we are always concerned about is children in some way being left or finding their way into hot vehicles and the dangers of that, sir. And we want to talk about several things, is what parents, what the grown-ups in those children's lives can do to help protect them, but also the mind-boggling statistics about hot vehicles, temperature, and the rapid rate in which that happens. So first things first, let's talk about just the dangers of children being left in or playing in vehicles.
Yeah, a lot of times when people think about this type of scenario, it's usually leaving a child behind in a car, but a lot of times it can happen just with kids playing outside. I know growing up, I spent a lot of time outdoors, and one thing parents can do to help is just to let them know that, hey, the car isn't a place to play at. In the summertime, I can just picture kids going outside and wanting to, find something new to do. They can put themselves in a car, and they can get trapped, and bad things obviously can take place given the heat that can take place.
When we talk about that heat, you shared with me while we were off camera just a little bit about how rapidly, and it does not have to be a day like we have today, which is 95 degrees. Talk a little bit about how that temperature, just in sort of a regular, spring day, that temperature can rise so quickly.
You can have hot car deaths with just 60 degrees of weather, which, is a nice cool day at times right there, but even that can take place because inside of a car, when the doors are shut and some conditions right there, it can raise up to 20 degrees in just 10 minutes, just with the doors being shut on the inside.
The one thing, especially because cars are so well made, so well insulated, we love that car to be climate controlled when we're operating the vehicle, but it's also sealed, right?
Very much.
And the light coming from the sun through those car windows. That statistic, though, just again, share that how quickly just 20 degrees in increments.
And only in 10 minutes. 10 minutes time, it can raise 20 degrees. And if you think about it at ideal, nice, cool conditions, 60 degrees, it can be 80 degrees very quickly. On a sunny day, midday or something like that, it can get hot very fast.
And when we think about children in vehicles, children themselves, their very biology as a little person is they can't regulate their temperature like we can, right?
Well, as an adult, you actually maintain kind of a cool temperature to a degree, but children actually their temperature raises, it's faster, 3 to 5 times higher than normal adults. So they just run hotter, I guess.
Well, they do, right? That's what we always think about, is raising our children, and you think, how'd you get just playing outside? They heat up,
Oh, yeah.
right? So they're just, and again, it's their very biology. It's not quite regulated in the same way. So you've got that, sadly, that perfect storm of conditions. Summertime, out and about kiddos, in the vehicle playing, and accidents sadly happen.
Yeah.
But also there are some measures we can take as the adults in their lives to help protect them. What are some things that you all recommend from the Sheriff's Office?
Some things that we recommend regarding the key fobs in the house right there. Letting kids know that, hey, cars aren't a place to play at. Placing key fobs in places that young children couldn't get to, so they can't get adventurous and want to go outside, potentially play in the car. For the instances where children are left in cars, it can be reminders, simple reminders, such as like if you have your purse, you can place your purse in the back seat with your child. Therefore, you remember that because, you know, your cell phone or your wallet's in it.
Right. You know, we're all get distracted. We're all in a hurry. We're on our way to wherever we need to be. And it's being that mindfulness, right?
Very much.
And that mindfulness translates to not just the idea of forgetting, but it's the idea of distracted driving in general. And I'm certain that you at the Sheriff's Office have to always be on the lookout and want drivers to be aware of their surroundings, right?
Very much so, yes.
One of the things when we talk about these tragedies, we also know that there's some statistics out there about the number of children that can be lost, and we use that as a real powerful reminder to folks. Share a little bit about some of the things that you all have documented in the way of these.
Well, nationwide, at least between 2023 and 2024, we've actually had an increase of 35% nationwide of these types of hot car deaths taking place. And it's gone up, you know, from the years past, and it's steadily climbing. So this is something we need to pay attention to and really put in the forefront of the public's mind so we can counteract that.
Well, that's right. You imagine with technology and you know, sometimes even some cars have sensors that remind us when our children are in the car now. But it is that idea that we've seen an increase in this, and I think that lends itself more to that distraction.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yeah.
But also these increased temperatures, all of the things, these again all sort of transpire. Certainly it is tragic, and you all want folks to be mindful, be aware, look at all these reminders that you've talked about. We also have to be mindful of the fact that oftentimes many of us travel not, you know, great distances, sometimes just across town, and we also have our other family members, which aren't our human family members, right, sir?
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
our fur babies.
Our dogs, our fur babies, our cats,
Right.
whatever kind of animals people travel with. You see them everywhere nowadays out. And I know I personally like to take my dogs with me. I love them to death, but same thing can take place where we can end up, I'm just going to go inside for a few minutes on a hot day with the window up. I mean, they're just like our children, and we need to take care of them just as much.
Well, you know, one of the things that you mentioned that about riding along with them, and we all have been sort of taught, oh, crack the window, right? Just crack the window on the car. That's not enough, really, is it?
It truly isn't. If you think about right now, last weekend I was working and I was out in a parking lot for a very long period of time, and it got really, really hot. And just imagine, even with the window down, that's still not enough to cool things off, and terrible things can still take place, even though you might park in the shady area or with the window down. The temperatures are still going to rise, and you still could get that deadly instance that we don't want to have happen.
Well, we appreciate you taking your time and talking about this. We still have, you know, several weeks of summertime left. Great weather still, summertime weather. We will experience summertime sometimes right up till Christmas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this isn't just a summertime reminder. This is an all the time reminder.
Especially down south here in Jacksonville, Onslow County area. You got to think about the heat all the time because we don't get fall or winter that long. It feels.
Not nearly enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Major Scott, we are so grateful for your time. Thank you for taking the time and for what you all do to keep all of us safe here in Onslow County. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome back, and joining us now is Alessandra Sams from the Onslow County Health Department, and we're going to talk about National Immunization Month.
Yes, ma'am.
August is all about making sure that we're all up to date.
Yes.
And that is because it is also back to school time,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So let's talk a little bit about immunizations and the role that our health department plays in that. So let's start off with just our kiddos, reminding everybody it's back to school time.
Yes, ma'am. So for North Carolina, kids are required to have their vaccines around kindergarten time, 7th grade, and then again around 12th grade. And so the health department offers all those vaccines that are required for those children. So it's important to get those kids in before school starts, before you get that letter that they need to be up to date, and we can get them in and get those vaccines for them.
And when we're getting those vaccines, this is also the great time to just make sure all of our kids are as healthy and happy as they can be.
Yes,
so you
ma'am.
do lots of assessments and prepping for school back to well checks as well, right?
Yes, ma'am. So we offer, if a child is coming and it's their first time going to school in North Carolina, they are required to have that health assessment. And we do offer those as well. We do vision screenings, hearing screenings with those visits, and then we can do vaccines at that same time. So it's, kind of making sure we, catch things maybe in the beginning before they go back to school, and keeping them up to date with those vaccines if they need anything before they start.
And one of the things you mentioned when we were off camera is a couple of months ago, you all partner with our Onslow County
Yes, ma'am.
schools. So you're there in the schools helping
Yes.
with this as well.
Yes. We try to get as many kids vaccinated as we can before they go on to that next grade, but then also at the health department, they can come in and get up to date as well.
Now, when we talk about those immunizations, you all have regular operating hours where families can make their appointments for their well checks. How do we best do that?
So we do take walk-ins. You can also call the main health department line, and we can get you scheduled for those so that you do have that set appointment time. We're open 8 to 5, and we also are open during lunch. So some parents, it's easier for them to take off during lunch and bring their children. So we're open during then as well.
And the other thing is we want no impediment to making sure that all of our vaccines
ma'am.
are up to date. So talk a little bit about the state program that is available for families.
So we do the sliding fee scale as well for the child health exams. So that can be as low as $0 for those families. We also are part of the Vaccines for Children program. So children that have Medicaid or if they don't have any insurance at all, they're still able to get those vaccines. So that payment is not an issue for them to get vaccinated and be up to date to start school.
We want everybody happy and healthy and
Yes,
ready.
ma'am.
We've talked a little bit about littles, but like you said, 12th grade, but also in the next few weeks, our college freshmen are headed to university.
Yes.
And oftentimes there they are living in sort of communal settings.
Yes.
And what are some vaccine reminders that we want for those students?
So we do college physicals as well. A lot of colleges, send home paperwork saying what things are required for those students. They can bring that paperwork in. We can go over it with them, see if they're missing anything, and help them be up to date so they can be happy and healthy at college too.
So we get them started all the way from preschool and beyond.
Yes, ma'am.
So we want our Onslow County students ready to learn
Yes,
and not
yes.
concerned about being ill during the school
Yes,
year.
ma'am.
Alessandra, anything that you want to share with our families about the importance, especially as we all go back to school? Kids don't have a sense of personal space. So just reminding them about the things that we should all be mindful of.
I think it's so important to bring the kids in for their immunizations and their well child exams. Some of them haven't been to a regular doctor, and so bringing them to the health department, we can do those screenings, hearing, vision. It's a lot easier to prevent illnesses than for the illness to happen and then to try to fix it later. So when those kids come in and we can prevent a lot of those things for them, I think that's super important. Wash your hands is another big thing, but we just want every kid to be able to go back to school and be healthy and have a great school year.
Well, thank you for making that possible.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for all that the health department does to prevent illness and make sure that our kiddos are ready to learn. We
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us is Tori Parks with Onslow County Public Libraries. So glad to see you here, Miss Tori.
Good to see you, Lisa.
You are here. It has been the summertime at our library system.
Yes.
From one branch to the other, everybody has had something super special going on. And the first thing we have to ask is, how did summer reading go?
Summer reading was fantastic. We surpassed our adult book goal. We had a goal of 1,500 and they read well over 2,000 books.
Amazing.
So that is awesome. And that's not even included in our minutes count that we do. So when we count our minutes, we just do from preschool up until the age of 18. So
right.
for that age group, that span right there, we read just under 400,000 minutes.
Well, when the theme, as we all know, was leveling up.
Yes.
And holy smokes, did you all level up?
They leveled up completely.
That is awesome. So over 400,000 minutes read. And we still don't have the final numbers. We could be well at 500,000.
I mean, we don't know, but I know that they
awesome.
have worked really hard. They were super excited about all their prizes, and I can't wait to see all the pictures of our winners from our bikes that were so generously donated to us as well. So
I have to say, these bikes, I've been in several branches this summer, and there are bikes front and center.
Yes.
And whether it was Minecraft or other kind of fun activities going on, arts and crafts, and book clubs meeting. I mean, it's been quite the summer.
It has been very busy.
That is awesome. So we finished tying up all those loose ends, and as the summer is waning and we're getting ready for back to school, you all have some things going on and a little bit of change to your schedule as we prep for that next season.
Yes, so we do have 2 more events coming up that are exciting, of course. So on August 7th, at our Sneads Ferry branch, we have back to school bingo. So families can come and play bingo and, have the chance to win school supplies.
Yay.
So August 7th at 4:30 in Sneads Ferry, you don't have to register. And then at our Richlands branch, we have Monster Truck Mayhem.
Okay.
So, and that is August 14th at 2 o'clock.
All right.
So they're going to have all kinds of things that are monster truck themed. So activities, crafts, pictures of monster trucks. It's just going to be mayhem.
Mayhem,
Yes.
but in a good way.
Yes, in a good way.
Good mayhem.
Yes.
Well, there's nothing like a good back to school supply.
Yes.
Right? I mean, who doesn't love pencils and crayons and,
Right.
all the cool stuff that goes with it. So in Sneads Ferry, have a chance to win some cool stuff.
Yes.
And then in Richlands, Monster Truck Mayhem. And then, of course, for our folks who participate in the summer reading program, you all do have your regular end of summer preparation pause to get ready for the new fall.
Yes, so because it has been very busy, we got to give our programmers a little bit of time off from the programs. So our story time will go on pause. All of those reoccurring programs that we normally have, that pause is going to be from August 24th until September 9th.
Okay, so get us through that back to school season,
Yes.
get everybody back in their normal routine, and then kick back in with summer reading, especially for our pre-K and littles.
Yes, and as soon as we get back from that, then we're also going to have our new newsletter coming out, which is insane that it has just flown by, but our fall newsletter will be coming out, so you can check out all the events for September, October, and November.
Fantastic. Tori, please remind us too, because you all have such a fun social media presence, how we can best find you.
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook, Onslow County Public Library. We also keep our website updated that has all of our newsletters, calendars, graphics, things like that. And of course, you can visit any of our 4 locations and you can pick up a newsletter, pick up a monthly calendar. All of our information is there for you.
All right, and I know always this time of year, you want to give a big shout out and thank you not only to our cool and wonderful youth service librarians,
Yes.
but also the volunteers and the generous folks who have donated, like your friends groups.
Yes, our friends groups have done fantastic. We have had a lot of people donate things, so of course thank you to them. Thank you to all of our patrons, programmers, our director, every single person who has been involved in making this summer such a hit.
Well, this has been a great summer. Thanks for being here. We're looking forward to seeing you next month to talk about all the cool fall fun
Yes.
planned at our Onslow County Public Libraries. Tori, thanks as always.
Thanks, Lisa.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Hope McFarland.
Hi,
with,
Lisa.
How are you?
I'm good.
So, Animal Services, some of my favorite people. You all do beautiful and important work over there, and
I won't lie. It's a fun place to work.
also a little bit loud.
Yes,
A
very much
little-
so.
All of our little furry friends over there, right? But it's a great place because it's so rewarding. And one of the great things that you all do are clear the shelter events.
Yes.
You want everybody to have a home.
Yep.
And talk a little bit about the upcoming Clear the Shelter event you have.
So this Clear the Shelter event that we're doing is being hosted by NBC and Hills. It's going for the whole month of August. So it starts this Friday the 1st and then it ends the 31st. So it's kind of like a big donation type of month. They do this finale weekend. We're hosting an event for that. So it's going to be a big event at the shelter where we're going to have some vendors. So we are looking for vendors if they want to join us.
Okay.
Anywhere from food trucks to local businesses or rescues. If they want to come and they want to join and promote their stuff, they are more than welcome to. They just got to get in contact with me. But basically this whole entire finale weekend event that we are hosting, which will be the 23rd, I don't have the times yet. We're still working out the times for it, but it's a sponsored event. So all of the animals that are going to be there are going to be sponsored with their adoptions. So if anybody wants to come and they want to sponsor adoption or partially sponsor adoption, they are more than welcome to come in prior to the event. They just got to come to the shelter and they can pay for that. Basically the goal is to get everybody sponsored out the building so that way they can find a loving home.
And this event, which is Saturday the 23rd, that will be held at your offices?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's kind of like, I'm not sure if you're aware of our Stevenson event that we do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but instead of being at Stevenson, it's going to be at the shelter.
Okay.
So we'll have a bunch of people coming in and a flow of things and stuff like that. So it's kind of like everybody who comes in for the regular adoptions, just kind of a bigger event.
And there will be at Animal Services. We do want to tell folks who might not be familiar where Animal Services is located, sort of orient them there to your location.
I feel like a lot of people have issues with finding where we're at. But we are on Georgetown, so we are behind the Onwassa and behind the Onslow Park that is there.
Okay, so if folks are coming from 17 South and they're turning there on Broadhurst, near where the fairgrounds are and the American Legion building, you all are a little bit further down.
If they know where the Board of Elections building is, they know where we are.
Excellent. And so it's going to be hosted there. You're looking for sponsors and people to participate for that day as well.
Yeah. It's also a good time for volunteers to come in and kind of get an idea as to what volunteering is like at the shelter. Our adoption events are probably our #1 need for volunteers, along with our dog walking. So it's a good way for people who want to get involved in the animal services to come in.
Now, when we talk about volunteers, because I did see a really fun posting the other day that you all put up that had your staff and had some of your volunteers. If folks want to volunteer, how can they do that?
So I am the volunteer coordinator,
All
so
right.
I am their go-to person for all of that. If they want to volunteer, they just have to go to our website and fill out the application. Once we get their application in, then they go through an orientation and then a background check. And then once all of that's clear, we get them signed up for volunteering.
Fantastic. Now, talk about the energy when you see one of those furry friends find their home. Because they know, right, Hope? They know that when somebody comes to one of those adoption events and they find their forever family, talk a little bit about how their disposition, how you see it in them.
I notice it a lot more in our long-term residents, ones that have been there for longer than 30 days, that when they finally get a home, you can just tell that they know that they're going home. We just had, he was our profile picture, I think, on Facebook for a little bit, Figaro. He just got adopted this past weekend and he was so excited and his parents were so excited to have him. But it is really heartwarming when you can work with people who are looking for an animal and pick the right one for them, and then they can go home and they can just love on that animal.
That is beautiful. So one more time, Clear the Shelter event on what day and location and what we can do to help.
So it's going to be Saturday, August 23rd, to be determined on the times, because we usually open a little bit earlier on Saturdays, but with this event we might change our open hours a little bit to fit it. But it's August 23rd. And then it's at the shelter, which is 244 Georgetown Road.
Fantastic. Well, Clear the Shelter. We're going to make sure everybody has a home.
We did really good last year. We got a lot of animals out, so we're hoping for the same result this year.
Well, we're going to keep our fingers crossed. We're going to celebrate everything that you all do and remind people August 23rd, this is that time to make that connection.
Yep.
Thank you, Hope, for your
welcome.
time.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and we are here with our host for today's episode, Mitch Sprunger from the Onslow County OAJ Albert J. Ellis Airport. How are you, Mitch?
I'm doing great. How are you, Lisa?
Are you tired? Has it been a busy summer?
It's been a very, very busy summer, but a good one.
All right.
Had a lot of guests in the building, so we're happy about that.
And how about just in general, you know, summertime is obviously the peak travel, people coming and going and wandering around. We visited with some folks earlier who are visiting us from Iowa who have flown in today.
Great.
So what's it look like? What's the traffic look like?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Summertime is one of the busiest seasons here, that and the Christmas holidays. And the passenger numbers have jumped up relative to last year. I checked the last 3 months, we're up 14% in passenger numbers.
14,
That's
great.
Great. And you can see it, there's more people in the building, and the parking lot is packed right now, which is beneficial for all of us.
For sure. I mean, I'm sort of just glancing over your shoulder here. There are lines of vehicles. I mean, it looks fantastic. But you know, part of the attraction of flying out of OAJ is that this is our home community airport. I want you to talk about what a difference that makes in so many people who live here. We oftentimes think about, oh, maybe we should just drive that 2 hours up the road. But this is so convenient. But for a lot of reasons, this is the best airport to choose.
Yeah, I think it's the convenience, it's the comfort. It's a quaint, comfortable facility. You get all the big airport amenities here. But the biggest thing to me is just the commute. You're back home within 30 minutes if you live in Onslow County. And I think the other thing right now that's also increased the passenger numbers a little bit is the ticket prices have leveled off quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And they're so much better this summer. So I just think it's important that people do a little research, and you can get a great price right now flying locally.
I have to tell you, you know, I think I've shared with you, the flight path comes over my house on its way to land. And it always gives me a little bit of travel fever. I'm like, I want to be on that plane. I want to be that person. Talk a little bit about the fun of travel, right? You know, sometimes we have to travel for work, but just the great adventures we can take our families on.
I mean, I certainly enjoy it. That's one of the reasons I got into airports, kind of like you. I lived in the flight path growing up. So for me, it was always exciting, you know, to pack my bags, go through the checkpoint, see the people coming and going, and then of course, you know, flying into the larger airports like the Atlanta and the Charlottes, and just the overall excitement of it. So yeah, I agree with you. It's a fun experience, and my youngest daughter is kind of in that mold right now. It's like, when are we going to go flying again? So
where can we go?
That's right. That's right.
And this makes it so much easier for our community. You also all have some big projects that have begun, some things on the horizon. Talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one piece of the equation right here, this terminal building and the air carrier service. But outside of this building, we have a new maintenance facility that's going on. So when you drive down the entry road next to our fire station, you'll see it. They started construction this past month. So that's for our staff. It's about 10,000 square feet.
Wow, that's great.
We'll be using for storage of equipment and materials for the maintenance of the airfield. So that's been a few years in the works, and happy to kick that off. And then another project that just started is our general aviation expansion, just to the south of here. So we will be building some connector taxiways, which are basically roadways for aircraft, and some new hangar facilities. So we'll have 18 spaces. 18 spaces
in hangar space.
Yes, for people to park their private aircraft. And then there'll also be another connector taxiway for future hangar development. So that's kicked off.
Okay.
A few of the others, you mentioned the parking lot.
Yeah.
We've gone into a design for an expansion of that. So we're looking at alternatives and costs. We'd like to do that pretty soon because I don't like seeing our passengers parking in the overflow areas.
Yeah, you really, for them, you want this next project for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, the big one is the highway, the runway, and the entry road. And that is nearly completed on design. There's some environmental work that's being approved right now, designed for the relocation of the utilities, like the power poles, the water lines. So there's a lot that goes into something of that magnitude, but we are nearly there, and
That's
it's
fantastic.
finally going to kick off.
Well, you know, I think that and once it kicks off, it's going to seem like it just overnight. Because what we also were talking about off camera is you have been the director here at OAJ for almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies.
How did that happen?
Just hard work, and then just the time passes quickly, I guess.
Well, you know, you've been here for 2 years as director, and you were here for some time before that. And one of the reasons this airport is such a joy to fly out of and fly into is just the team.
Absolutely.
Talk about your folks.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it's been a busy summer, and it's kind of been a summer of reflection for me, and you know, everything that goes into operating this place. And I'm so proud of this staff. I mean, it just as a passenger flying out of this building, we have a team that comes out early in the morning, checks the runways, checks the fire trucks, make sure you're safe before you take off. We have a team that cleans this facility, make sure everything's operating as it should. And I mean, you take all this stuff for granted when you fly in and out of here, but I mean, there's such a behind the scenes group that keeps this place running. And yeah, I couldn't be more proud of them. And it's not just them, it's just like the county teams as a whole, asset and facilities maintenance, vehicle maintenance, all the work that pours into running this place.
Well, it shows, right? It's a joy, and everybody here is always so pleasant. The building is always pristine. Like, it is beautiful, and again, I still call this the new terminal. It's not that new anymore, right?
Yeah, it's 10 years old.
10 years. And also the community partnerships that you have, the art shows that you do with the schools. I mean, this is a community, local airport in every sense of the word. Talk about why that's important for the community to understand that you all are here for them.
This is a public use airport. We're here for Onslow County and the region. I think it's important for them to know that when you use this airport, the funding comes out into the community, the direct and indirect benefits for all of us, the tax revenues. I mean, those are things when you fly in and out of the airport you don't consider,
right.
But when you fly locally, it gives us the opportunity to grow this place and make our lives better. So it's an important piece of our quality of life, and it's something that we all should be proud of and utilize as much as possible.
Well, this is a great, as you say, economic impact, economic driver, tourism driver, quality of life, gives jobs to here locally in the community.
Yes.
And the building itself is a reflection of who we are as a place. So,
absolutely.
Mitch, thank you for everything you and your team are doing. I'm going to have to plan a trip really, really soon. So
let's do it.
We're ready. Thank you for everything, and thank you for all that you all do.
Thank you.
Thank you, as always, for joining us for Onslow County today. And a very special thank you to each of our guests, Major Mark Scott from the Onslow County Sheriff's Office, Alessandra Sams from the Onslow County Health Department, Tori Parks with Onslow County Public Library, Hope McFarland from Animal Services, and of course, Mitch Sprunger, Director of the Albert J. Ellis OAJ Airport, where we are today. As always, it is a great day to get out and explore Onslow County. And when you come here to the airport, Onslow County and beyond. We look forward to seeing you next time.